I'm going to start right at the top. My name's Nicole, and I have just written a book called Solutions for Self-Improvement, linking your genie's mind to your goal. The reason I want to share this information with you, it's because we all have it. We all have a genie's mind. Let me start at the top. If I were to ask you, is there a difference between Michelangelo, Mozart, Madonna, and Elon Musk? The answer is no. There is no difference. And there's no difference between them and between you. They have enjoyed accessing and running with the ball on their creative abilities. Now, a lot of people keep on saying, if I have all these talents inside of me, why aren't I using them? Why aren't they coming to the surface? The answer is, you are not accessing your genius's mind. And Michelangelo, Madonna, Elon Musk, Mozart had accessed their genius mind. The way we do that is one of quite a few steps. And today I'd like to talk about the step of visualization, because it's a word that's bandied about and says all you have to do in life to succeed is first make your wish list and then start visualizing it and it will happen. Well, it's very easy to say, but jumps in confusion. Where do I start? Self-doubt. Am I doing it the right way? So let's just cover a few easy steps how to get going. But the big key is do it every day. Do it 10 minutes every morning, 10 minutes at lunchtime, and 10 minutes in the evening. You might not get anywhere in the beginning. You might not have any success for a few weeks. But I promise you, I guarantee you, there is no other solution, no other outcome than success once you learn how to link your genius's mind, your genie's mind, to your goals. And it works. So let's start with making a wish list. So you're going to say, I've got so many wishes, I don't know where to start. Very simply, take a piece of paper, write 5 or 6 columns, which you can break down like career and finance. Personally, I separate career and finances. They're not the same. Hobbies, relationships, health. Health comes everything from your weight to whatever illnesses you have or don't want or you're afraid of having, broken bones. Friends, relationships, make very separate columns. And then simply write down whatever comes to your mind. There is no right or wrong. And write them down in the appropriate columns. Eventually, you will have sifted and sorted out a number of goals that you want to achieve in your life, a number of areas. Now let's get down to the visualization part. There is a little method that when you apply this method, it helps your mind get into alpha. And I say alpha, for some that might be a very techie or scientific word. Just think of alpha as being the right gear that your mind wants to be in to start breeding the necessary ingredients that will allow your image that you have in your mind to grow and to emit out into the world. So we basically have we've got 4 different levels of the mind. The deepest when we're sound asleep or unconscious is delta. Then you go up a level very simply into theta. That is when you're dreaming or when children are very young until maybe the age of 3 or 4 and you give them a little bottle of Coca-Cola and they'll imagine it as a rocket. They're in their dream mode. It's the level that we're in just before we drift into sleep and just when we wake up in the morning. And then there's alpha, where your brain waves are nice and smooth, but you're awake, you're conscious, and you're very relaxed. and everything is open, peaceful. That is the level you want to be in. Because after alpha, we go up a level and we go into beta. And when we're in beta, we're running in beta most of the day. We're active, we're focused, we're so focused on doing things that we don't even see what's coming towards us, bad or good, because the door is not open long enough to take it in, because we've driven and you're in beta. When you want to create and you want to visualize, you want to be in alpha. Now, I know that a lot of people talk about meditations and they want to go into the zero space and not feel anything, and that's fine. But for the purpose of creating the meditations, you want to be aware, you want to be in alpha. You want to be connected to yourself. And the easiest way to get into that is by lowering down your brain waves and relaxing. And this can be done on demand, even if you're going through a crisis or even if you're going through a panic attack. If you decide, now it's 12 o'clock or 8 a.m. or 8 p.m., and I'm going to do my alpha visualization meditation, it's very easy. It demands some self-discipline, but it's easy. You pull yourself away from whatever you're doing, you sit down, and I would advise that for at least 2 weeks, you get into the habit of first calming yourself down by counting backwards. You can start at 100. It seems like a long way, but it might take you 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to count from 100 down to 1, but you do it very slowly. Take about 2 seconds per number. So you would go 100, 99, 98, 97, and you can feel yourself calm down as you are saying the numbers. Try and say them out loud because it helps, and you bring yourself all the way down to 1. When you've come down to 1, you will feel much more peaceful and slow, like going in slow motion. And this is when you use the famous 3-2-1 method that was put together by Jose de Silva. I learned it about 25, 30 years ago. I did a course with my son. It's very simple, but it does the trick, and that's all that counts. And so this is how you do the 3-3-3-2-2-2-1-1-1 method that will help you get into alpha. You close your eyes, and with your eyes closed, you imagine that you are seeing a screen maybe 3 meters in front of you, and your eyes are going up about 40, 45 degrees to the top of the screen. In other words, your eyes, with your eyelids closed, are not at the horizontal level. You're looking upwards, even though your eyelids are closed. And what that does, it precipitates your brain waves to start going into alpha. It's just like a little help. And what you do is, with your eyes shut, you inhale through your nose, and as you exhale through your mouth, you mentally see on top of that screen, about 2 meters in front of you, the number 3, and you repeat it mentally 3 times. So you would go, inhale, exhale, 3, 3, 3. And then I would advise you to spend maybe a minute simply imagining your skin relaxing from the top of your scalp all the way down to your toes, drooping, dripping, just sort of like, hanging off of you, totally relaxed. That will bring about your physical relaxation, and your body is going to associate with your mind every time you say from here on in 3, 3, 3. Then what you do is you keep your eyes closed, and again you project at about 45 degrees in front of you, on top of this imaginary screen, the number 2. And here you will go 2, 2, 2. And as you say this number 2, you project yourself into a known or an imaginary geographical location. Could be at the beach or in the woods or on top of a mountain or in your garden, but a place where you know or you would like to go, that you have this clear image of, that's very peaceful, where you can just sort of sit down, lay down. Maybe you can smell the sea waves or the salt from the sea, or maybe you can smell the jasmine, off the trees. Imagine it and just sit there and, soak it all in. And in your relaxed physical state, now allow your mind to relax and just enjoy the beauty of whatever's happening in your mind or in front of you. Do it with your eyes shut, though. The more you have your eyes shut, the more you go into your own world, which is the world that you are creating, and this is what it's all about. And then when you have been there, maybe say for 40, 50, 60 seconds, you do the same process again. You inhale and you exhale. And as you exhale, you mentally see, still up there, and repeat the number 1. And so you go 1, 1, 1. And now you are ready to drop a little bit deeper, but your brain will be pretty much an alpha. And in the beginning, it might take some people 3 or 4 days to get into their level, and other people it might take you a month. We're all different, but we do get there. And so you're going to ask me, how do I know when I'm at my level? You'll feel it. You'll just know it. It's like you know when you're tired, and you know when you're full of energy, and you know when you're in a bad mood, and you know when you're in a good mood, and you know when you're hungry. These are things you can't see, but you know it because you've been in that situation and in that state so often. So you will soon get to know that you are in alpha. But the only way to find that out is to keep on doing this at least twice a day, and if you can, 3 times a day. So once you're into your alpha mode, create a room that's going to be your room for the rest of your life. And this is going to be like your mental lab. Only you gets to go in there with your mentors. Nobody else. Just your chosen mentors or mentors that come to you in your mind. So what you do here is you want to get yourself even deeper a little bit. So count from 10 down to 1. So you go 10, 9, 8, 7. You're always dropping deeper. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you're in 1, open up a door, walk into a mental space in your mind, and create this wonderful study or research lab that's going to be yours throughout your whole life. Everything that you want to research or have ideas or become creative in or relax, allow messages to come to you, play around with new concepts, you're going to go into your mental lab. It's going to become very familiar to you. It's going to become as familiar to you as your front door, as the back of your hand, right? There are few little rules that I've been taught and which really help, and so I'm going to share them with you, is in this lab, on wherever you imagine the south wall to be, right? On that wall, you will put a big screen. And you have one little door where your mentors can come in. And once they're in the room, they'll always stay there. You have a place for them to sit down or hang around. Try and get like one male mentor and one female mentor. And then you're going to sit down on your couch and your chair. And on this wall, which is on your south-facing wall, you're going to put a big screen. And onto that screen, you're going to project your images. De Silva suggests that you put mirrors up there. It sounds a little bit childish in the beginning, but it helps to structure your thought process. And it works. That's all that counts, right? Because at the end of the day, what we're all looking for is to self-improve and to have what we really desire to have in our life, right? And these are shortcuts, because the only way to get whatever we want in life is to create it first in here. That's the only way it works. That's what Elon Musk did. That's what Michelangelo did. That's what Madonna did. That's what Mozart did. Guess what? That's what you're going to do, because we're all the same. So how do you do this? You do it the following way. You take one of your goals that you've put in these various lists, you look at it, and you find out, why haven't I had this yet? Or why am I working on it and it's not arriving? And you will come up with the answer, problem. There's been this problem, and therefore I have not yet been able to have, see, be, or do what I want to do. So you identify your problem. I would suggest that you write down your problem in maybe 2 or 3 or 4 sentences. And when your problem is written down, you bring your attention, your visual attention with your closed eyes, onto the screen. And on the screen, on the right side of the screen, or sort of looking straight ahead at you, right? Create in your mind a dark, ugly frame, black, brown, blue, gray, but something not very nice in the color. And when you have that frame, inside the frame, put a clear mirror. And now, onto that mirror, transform your written problem, project it onto the screen. And when you have your written description on the screen, sort of see those words in your mind, just allow them to transform into images or icons that will represent whatever your problem, your written problem is. Now you've really stamped your problem there, and you can look at it very clearly. This hasn't happened, this is happening all the time. All the problems, which can be obstacles that you see, reasons for not yet having what you want. And when that's clearly on the screen, with your eyes always shut, take a wet sponge in your hand, in your left hand, full of soap suds, okay? And just say, oof, I want to erase all these images from the screen. And start with your eyes shut, literally soaping away and sponging away, rinsing out the residue of the paint. Go back and make sure that you've taken away from this mirror all the images and all the color pigments of your problem. Then, when the screen is nice and empty, it's all been cleaned, with your eyes shut, you take the screen and you shift it slightly to your left, And when the mirror is on this big screen shifted to your left, you imagine the dark color of the frame being ripped off or disintegrating, and the darkness is just going away into oblivion. All the dark pigments of the frame are transmuting into light, but whatever it is, there is no sign left of the dark color that was around this frame, which was the frame of the mirror. And now you're left with a bare mirror frame, and in your mind, create a beautiful white frame. You can make it plastic white, ivory white. Personally, I put Swarovski stones all the way around the mirror frame to make it even more brilliant. And now you have a beautiful white mirror frame. And inside that frame is a sparkling clean mirror. And onto that mirror, with your eyes shut, you are going to allow yourself to project your ideal solution, whatever it is. And as ideal solutions don't always happen immediately. You have time to play with it. You have time to change it. You have time to amend it, to add to it, okay? You will never see the blue and the dark problem screen again. The only screen that you will see every time you go into your mental lab is your white, brilliant white, lovely white frame with a mirror inside. And on that mirror, you start to project the images. They can be any type of image, right? And you look at them, and sometimes you might even say, ooh, I wonder what it would look like if I were inside the image. So you have fun, and you jump into the image in your mirror, and you look outwards, okay? This is a meditation. You're actually meditating, but you're meditating in alpha. So your brain waves are open. And as you do this on a daily basis, the images, when you come back to your screen, the images become more and more familiar to you. And the more and more familiar to you they are, the deeper they anchor into your nervous system, into your memory, into your reticular activating system. And this is how you start to create your reality, the reality of the goals that you want to achieve. I like to stay in my alpha meditation for maybe, I don't know, I end up doing it for about 15 minutes. And I love it because I really feel like if I'm in it, I mean, I'm actually enjoying being in my goal. It's being in fun land, la la land. It's great. And then, you will find that your fun or your focus on your goal starts to diminish, and that's okay. Now's the time to maybe say, okay, fine, my meditation's over. I've had fun. Now I'm going to go back to doing whatever it is that I want to do or have to do. And what I do, but everybody can do this differently, is I stand up from my chair and I've just imagined on either side of the screen a lovely pair of sort of, light flimsy mousseline or light silk beige ivory curtains. And as I stand up and I walk out towards the door, the curtains close by themselves. They just go, they close. And I know that, just like when I close down the computer, your laptop, everything goes away. So automatically my images on my mirror they're gone away. But they're there and they're working at it. Or my mentors might be working at it. And I leave my lab. Sometimes, before I leave my lab, I might even turn around to my mentors and I say, look, I'm going. Right? And my mind, I can only be right. So I have fun and I say, bye-bye, mentor. I'm leaving. And by the way, here on that other wall is all the list of my wishes, and feel free to work on them while I'm gone. And I walk out the door of my lab, close the door, and then I count backwards because I want to come back into, of course, beta or high alpha. So I reverse engineer and I count from 1, always with my eyes closed, 1 up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, slower than that. And then when I get to 10, I go into 1, 1, 1 again. I go through the whole process. I inhale, and as I exhale, I see up on top of the imaginary screen, about 45 degrees up, the number 1. Then I do the same inhalation and exhalation, and I see number 2. And then I do the same inhalation, and I see the number 3. And I open my eyes, and I get on with my day, and I've actually created in a very formatted, user-friendly format to my brain the future that I want for myself. But I've created my future memory because I've seen it. And the fact that I've seen it makes it a memory. And what is the result of a memory? A memory happens because the event did happen. So I've created my future memory, and I can now trust that it is only a matter of time before it will manifest in my life. We'll do other videos. I hope you enjoy this one. Please feel free to shoot me off an email with any questions you might have. You will find my email address on my YouTube channel, which is Nicole Petchek. This really works, and trust that it does. Bye for now.